your ability to annotate it is limited. You can write on it, but as soon as you write on it, it's very hard to transmit. And as soon as you print it out, it's almost obsolete. So one of the things that we'd like to do is potentially use the devices that we have with us today to be able to read our electronic documents and comment on them. So we have smartphones, we have laptop PCs. The smartphones have small screens. The laptops are big and heavy and bulky. They take a little while to boot up. And another problem is they're pretty hard to hold in your hand. So what we saw is an opportunity, right, that actually sits between those devices. An opportunity for electronic paper. And what we are creating at PlasticLogic is not a replacement for your PC or your smartphone. It's really this electronic paper that we believe sits in the middle. We are creating not a paperless office, or like the ebook world trying to create a paperless bookshelf. What we are driving on is the paperless briefcase. So let's take another look. I have another folder here, same size. Okay, so this one actually has a couple filing cabinets, or a room full of filing cabinets actually of documents in it. So let me show it to you. And from the folks at PlasticLogic, I'd like to introduce the QUE proReader. I have to do the classic pose. We should have patented this. It's very cool. So if you watch the screen, we're going to show you some images of the product just so you can see it. The product has the dimensions and readability of a pad of paper. In material, shape, and optics, and feel, it actually takes us to a whole new world. It has subtle curves which make it very easy to hold. It has a large screen based on e-ink, and so that its readability is very high and it's great in bright sunlight. It's very simple. As you can see around the border, there are no keys to get in the way, no buttons, no directional pads. You control it with your finger. Not with the stylus. We do not use the stylus. It operates with swipes and taps on on-screen controls. And you'll get more of a view of it kind of later through the presentation. The device is the center of what we're doing, but it's really only the beginning. I mean, we talk a lot about the device, but it's really only the beginning of what we're doing. Right? What we've created is a very unified and integrated system to make business professionals more productive, to help you access published content in a new way, to let you work with personal and work information, including your mail and your calendar, to always stay connected so your information is always up to date. It's just, and again, we're going to walk through this as we go through the presentation, but the thing to keep in mind is we are not just developing an e-reader. We're developing a complete solution space. Our first product was designed in collaboration with IDEO. One of the key strengths of our company is the way that we form partnerships. You can see it in the way that we partner with publishers. You can see it in the way that we publish with AT&T and the way that we work with Barnes & Noble. One of the things that we did when we were in the design process was we decided to bring in some very capable folks from IDEO, but instead of working with them the way that most product firms work with design firms, where you contract out the work and then something comes back. Given that we are working on such a unified and integrated system, we decided to do something innovative and have the IDEO people co-located in our offices along with us and work as members of the team, and in some cases actually directing some of the work of PlasticLogic employees. So to talk about a little about the design, we're going to watch a video here with Caroline Flagiello from IDEO.
The industrial design actually pulled back a bit more than just focusing on the physicality. It was thinking about the celebration of print, the celebration of black and white. And ultimately, this is a technology that's around plastics. And so I think one of the challenges that I thought was really important for this product was to not use metal, which is traditionally used in premium products. And ultimately, what we're looking for to create something physical and of beauty, it's optics. And the optics of the plastic that we used, the translucency, the way that the finish, the gloss, the matte, the contrast of textures is really about optics and letting light and transparency, as I mentioned, really shine. And when you look at the industrial design, it's supposed to look like a glass container with ink.
She was going to say e-ink. Okay. So if you listen to Caroline, you probably understand at PlasticLogic, we really celebrate black and white. And all you have to do is look around you to see an example of that. E-ink on paper, or ink on paper, I should say, e-ink on plastic, which is what we're delivering, right, is the key to readability. And we celebrate that all the time. You know, content and readability is king in everything we do. Now, I'd like to show you the next piece of our ecosystem, and I'd like to talk about our UI and software, and I'll start by explaining our homepage. I had mentioned earlier that we created a very innovative design targeted at the business users, and as you can see from the screen, we're really focused on business. We mean business. At the upper left of the screen is your calendar. Connects with Outlook and gives you all your day's appointments, right, with attachments. The center of the screen, the largest part of the screen, is your content window. We allow you several views into that, right? And then at the lower right, we have an area where you can pin your favorite documents so that they're always there on the home page. On the lower left-hand side, you see a way that you can immediately get to the QUE store, so you can have immediate access to the published content, especially for a business professional that's going to help you get ahead. So that's the home screen in a quick view. Now, I'd like to give you a more thorough view of it through a demo, and I'm going to invite Sebastian Torles, who is our Senior Product Manager for the QUE Reader. Thanks, Sebastian.
Yeah.